This is another New Black World Order TV Productions. Chopper. Grand Rising family, what's happening? Well, it goes like this. I took the videos down that we did of the lecture at the library because some people were like that it was kind of like over their head. So I wanted to speed it up a little bit so that y'all could possibly slow it down, right? I hope you understood that. I'm going to speed it up so that y'all can slow it down so you can understand. Like I say, I want to make understanding understood. And I want you to know that I dedicated this lecture to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, affectionately termed the messenger of Allah, and Father Allah, the founder of the nation of gods and earths. And what we had on the board at the lecture was these numbers here, right? And we had those 5 dates there, right? And I'm going to give a very, very simplistic understanding of what that lecture was about so that I could speed it up so that you could slow it down and get an understanding, right? We have above here, right, 7 numbers. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. This is commonly known as the Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci, born in the city of Pisa, named Leonardo of Pisano, right, was educated in Africa, in various different Islamic schools that were in Africa, right? And they had these series of numbers, right? And him being schooled there, he learned these from the people in Africa, right? Under Islamic schools who were occupying Africa, right? And we'll get into that later on. But the point is he came back to Europe, introduced the numbers from 0 to 9, right, to the Western world in order to give them a more simplistic way, right, to calculate numbers, right, and get rid of the space that was being used up by the Roman numerals, etc., etc. So Fibonacci is the poster child for introducing such numbered sequences to the Western world, and the Western world put his name on it because the Western world likes to claim things for themselves. This lecture is entitled, right, Cracking the Codes of the Quran. The Quran is a product of Judeo-Christian thought, and specifically the mathematics of the Quran, the mathematics of the Bible, the Torah, or the Gospel, is borrowed, stolen, or adopted, plagiarized, etc. from Africa and other melanated peoples such as the Hindu mathematical system. So we're going to park it right there. We have the Fibonacci sequence, that is a sequence that is found within architecture, paintings, music, and a host of other things, but we want to park it right there in nature. If you look at sunflowers, seashells, petals on flowers, etc., you will see the sequence, right? And the sequence is, and it goes on into infinity, but we're focusing on the first 7 numbers, which is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 5 plus 8 is 13. Okay? So we see the pattern repeating itself, and it goes on because 8 plus 13 is 21. All right? 13 plus 21 is 34, right? And it goes on into infinity and it repeats itself and it begins to produce a number, right? The golden ratio, right? So the number system here that was given to us by our ancestors, right, was reintroduced to us in a psychology by Elijah Muhammad, because Elijah Muhammad told us that Islam was mathematics and mathematics was Islam. That's exactly as saying that gematria, the gematria of the Hebrew language, is mathematics, and mathematics is gematria, which is in the Hebrew language. But if Moses existed, Moses was learned in all the wisdom of Egypt. Now, either he existed or he didn't. Either he learned all of it or he didn't. Now, you take for yourself your position on that subject. So if it's true that Moses existed, he was learned in all the wisdom of Egypt. All right. So the number system is from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. So Father Allah, the founder of the nation of gods and earth, told us that the 0 was a cipher. A cipher is a person, a place, or a thing. He told us that the number 1 was knowledge. Knowledge is to look, listen, observe, and respect. It is the first aspect of reality. Number 2, wisdom. Wisdom is your wise words spoken in your ways and actions. Wisdom is an application of your knowledge, because if you're not applying your knowledge, you can't be considered to be wise to get an outcome, which is the next number, number 3, understanding. Understanding is a clear mental picture you can see after you have taken your knowledge and taking your wisdom, right, to combine them to produce a third aspect, which is understanding, right? Number 4, culture freedom. Your culture is mathematics, and your freedom is your ability to free your mind from all lies and falsehoods, which is going to be very important in this lecture, to free your mind from all lies and all falsehoods, all of them. 5, power and refinement. Power is the truth. It is the light of the mind of the Black nation, right? It's light, right? Light is another word for science. Light is another word for knowledge. And all science and all knowledge must be refined in order to get to that rich best part, right? That refined part, that cultured part, right? Equality, 6. Equality is to be equal in everything. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, and 6 is the first perfect number, right? Number 7, God/geometry, right? God, right, would be considered the math. God will be considered a person who has refined, cultured themselves through their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, have showed and proved their power by refining themselves in order to see the circle, right? To see the equality in all human beings, and respect people for their light, for their science and their knowledge. For knowledge and science belong to the human family, and that's the equality of it. Geometry. Geometry is shapes, right? The different modalities of shapes, the nuances of shape in their mathematical value. Number 8, build and destroy. Right? Build. You must build on truth and destroy falsehoods. Build on positivity and destroy the negativity. Both aspects, positive and negative, give you a charge, right? So we're dealing with 0, cipher, 1, knowledge, 2, understanding, 2 is wisdom, 3 is understanding, 4 is culture freedom, 5 is power and refinement, 6 is equality, 7 is God, geometry, and number 8 is build and destroy, right? When I said that freedom was key, because freedom is the what? Free your mind from all lies and all falsehoods. So therefore you must destroy the falsehood and build on the truth. That's number 8, build and destroy. 9 is born, right? Just like you were brought here by 3 trimesters and 9 months, right? Understanding born. When you have taken yourself from knowledge to born, understanding becomes born, right? Just as a man, right? Knowledge. Man is knowledge. Woman is wisdom. Goes through his wisdom to produce an understanding, which is the child, the best part, right? And what we're looking for is that best part, right? So born is to bring something into existence, right? And what we're going to do today, we're going to crack the codes of the Quran by using the Fibonacci sequences here, right? We're going to focus on these 5 dates, right? These 5 dates are very important in the Islamic world. Muhammad was born in the year 570 in the year of Mecca. Okay. Our next date, 595. Muhammad is 25 years old and he marries Khadijah, who is at the age of 40 in the year 595 AD. Our third date is 615. This is the first Hijrah. Okay. This is when Muhammad and his followers are being persecuted by the people in their town. And he tells some of his followers that they can relocate in Abyssinia, Ethiopia, for the Negus or the Najasi, right? The ruler there is a kind man and he will take them into refuge and they depart there, the first Hijrah. That's our third date. Our fourth date is 622, the second Hijrah, right? Muhammad held his ground while his followers went in 615. He held his ground in Mecca. But the death plots become more and more a real reality. And so this second Hijrah or migration, Muhammad goes there. He goes to Medina, right? And now at this date, 622, some of the people who went in 615 to Abyssinia returns back in 622, some of them, to meet with Muhammad and go with him or meet him in Medina. All right, 622. And later on, the second caliph makes 622 the mark of the first year of the Islamic calendar, right? Marked at that second Hijrah, Muhammad goes to Medina, taking flight out of Mecca. Our fifth date is 1605, Akbar the Great, right? Akbar the Great, the third emperor of the Mughal Empire, right? Persian guys, right, who spread Islam towards the east, over there in the Taj Mahal area, right? 1605 AD, right? And these 5 dates, we're going to link these 5 dates to these numbers: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. We're going to link 570 to that date, those numbers, 595 and 622. Now the 615 we're going to get because the Muslims love to express the number 19 that's mentioned in the 74th Surah, 30th ayat, where it says over it is 19. Now the numbers 615 and 1605 is linked to the number 19. This is part 1, right? I dedicate this to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a teacher of mine. I am not a follower. I am not a believer. I am a student. I want to be in the know, not in belief. Okay? So Father Allah came and gave the psychology to the math, right? He gave these words and attached them to the numbers 1 through 9, right? In cipher, that represents a space marker, right? That's why we went 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13, right? In the next video, we're going to deal with these first 3 numbers of the Fibonacci numbers 1, 1, 2. This has been another New Black World Order TV Productions. This is King Shah, and I'm going to speed it up so that you can slow it down so you won't be